street, north-south street, Hamilton Street, I guess that is.
Right.
That's where they, I guess they were born in that house.
But you don't remember what his dad did? Or did James go to college?
James' daddy may have worked for the city. I'm not sure.
Did James? He served in the military, didn't he? Didn't he go off to war?
You know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I know that the garage turned into a shop, and James was head of the shop. His daddy may have helped him some in the shop, I don't know.
So how old do you think Dolly was when she got married?
I'd say close to senior in high school, only she didn't go that long. She took a business course after we came, she took the business course before we moved into town. She stayed with Aunt Tom and Uncle Perry down on Cannon Street. And I don't remember where she worked. And then, of course, after Daddy's mules were lightning struck, we ended up moving into town. He shopped around for some mules, and Uncle Perry advised him to get those girls into town where they could get a job. That was his brother, Uncle Perry,
So,
who lived on Cannon Street.
Were the mules
where
killed?
The Culbersons lived.
Were the mules killed in Whitfield County? Or Murray County?
No, in Whitfield, but it was out on, I think it was called Kuaholi Creek. We were, when a lot of water came, it would flood our pasture right across the road from us, and we could see fish jumping up out of the water.
Well, tell me this now. James died in 1979, and Jen and I were in Texas. Julie was born in 1979.
Was she born when you lived in Texas?
Brian Kelly, Judy's son, was born in the hospital while James was in the hospital, diagnosed with cancer. Do you remember that?
Now, who did you say?
Okay, James Roberts.
But before James, what did you say?
Judy was in the hospital pregnant with Brian and that's their son. And he's married now.
Yeah.
And got a good looking young boy. And but you told me one time that James was diagnosed with cancer, and you said it was you gave it a name. You said it was you remember how long James lasted?
I don't remember.
They did surgery. They opened him up. I think it may have been colon cancer, Judy said, but then they closed him up. And you said it was the galloping kind. Do you remember that?
Well, I guess I remember the word galloping, the fast working
Yes.
kind.
Because he only lived 2 or 3 days, 5 days after that surgery.
I don't remember that.
Do you remember Dolly continuing to run the shop for several years after he died?
Well, I guess I remember that. I don't know that she did work there. She sort of managed it, or was bookkeeper.
But she kept it open for, I think, for 7 years until she was 70. And she said James was like 62 maybe. But
I don't remember how long she...
do you remember how she coped with it? You know, how did she... Her and James were so close. And they worked
She-
together.
She just was bookkeeper and managed the, I guess.
But that had to be devastating for
You
her.
mean after he died?
Yeah, because they were always together.
Well, I don't remember. After. Can't remember.
See, I was in Texas, so I didn't get to go to the funeral. And then, but Brian was born. I think he was. I think James got to see him. And the reason Dolly closed up, you remember, I think that the main man was ready to retire. Ralph. You remember that name, Ralph?
Yeah. I don't remember the last name.
But he was ready to retire, so when he retired, she had to shut it down.
Yeah.
And they sold it, I guess.
That shop started from a garage. We walked by it on our way to, we didn't have a car. We walked from Lucky Street there, Standpipe Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess if the weather were too bad, we'd get a cab to work
Mm-hmm.
at Camping Craft, but it's a pretty long walk.
Mm-hmm.